What are the main characteristics of anti-aliasing filter? A. Ensures that bandwidth of signal to be sampled is limited to frequency range. B. To limit the additive noise spectrum and other interference which corrupts the signal. C. All of the mentioned. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is all of the mentioned. What is the configuration of system for digital processing of an analog signal? A. Analog signal pre-filter. D. A. Converter digital processor. A. D. Converter post-filter. B. Analog signal pre-filter. A. D. Converter digital processor. D. A. Converter post-filter. C. Analog signal post-filter. D. A. Converter digital processor. A. D. Converter pre-filter. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is analog signal pre-filter. A. D. Converter digital processor. D. A. Converter post-filter. When the frequency band is selected, we can specify the sampling rate and the characteristics of the pre-filter, which is also called as filter. A. Analog filter. B. Anti-aliasing filter. C. Analog anti-aliasing filter. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is anti-aliasing filter. Which are forward error correcting codes? A. Block codes. B. Convolutional codes. C. Block convolutional codes. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is block convolutional codes. Which operates on continuous stream of data? A. Block codes. B. Convolutional codes. C. Block convolutional codes. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is convolutional codes. Which has better minimum distance? A. Checksum. B. Cyclic redundancy check. C. Checksum cyclic redundancy check. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is cyclic redundancy check. Which is more complex? A. Encoding. B. Decoding. C. Encoding decoding. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is decoding. In symmetric key cryptosystem, who knows the key? A. Sender. B. Receiver. C. Sender receiver. D. None of the mentioned. The correct answer is sender receiver. In general, a digital system designer has better control of tolerances in a digital signal processing system than an analog system designer who is designing an equivalent analog system. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The selection of the sampling rate f(1t), where t is the sampling interval, not only determines the highest frequency f(2) that is preserved in the analog signal, but also serves as a scale factor that influences the design specifications for digital filters. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true.